Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and it is campaign update time. Again, we play in the this particular campaign, we're playing in the Dolmenwood, and we are using the Old School Essentials rule set. So, if you're not caught up, you can go back to the playlist. There's a full playlist going all the way back up to episode number 1. This will be episode 17. So, where we left off, our adventurers, we had rescued the, for lack of a better term, magic tapestry that the family needed, that we ran into in this realm that we're, not realm, that's not the right word, in this, I don't know what the timeline, it's like an alternative timeline, but we're stuck in this space where we can only go down certain paths. Everything else is blocked by impassable, basically walls made out of vines and so forth. We can't really see any sky or whatnot. We're in some kind of dimension. And we ran into this family. They said they'd been trapped here. We have a couple of elves that are traveling with us now that we met, that we found in here, that had been trapped here for thousands of years. This family hasn't been here that long. They've only been here, I think they were like 10 years or something, that they believe it was about 10 years or whatever. We had to get this tapestry and bring it back to them. Once we did, we determined that was their key to exit this dimension, because a portal opened up for them and out they went. So now we have determined at this point that there's two different groups that we've run into that basically needed some type of key to let them out of the dimension. So now we are looking for the dimension for ourselves so we can escape, as well as our elven friends that are traveling with us now. So when we took up this new session this past Friday, we had rested because we just returned that tapestry and we were pretty beat up. We rested, and then we moved down another path that was open to us that took us into what can only be described as a garbage room. It was refuse piled up, and you could walk through the piles of refuse and so forth. And our fighter that is on this, I always forget, Nerys decided, for some reason, he has become a pyromaniac. He's become a firebug. So he starts wanting to burn this garbage and refuse and everything. But we can see, the magic user, and I'm playing an investigator, we can see there are scrolls, books, all kinds of stuff in with this refuse and everything. And we're yelling at him, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. There could be something important in here. Don't be setting fire to it. We want to search through it first and see what we can find. But he is determined to want to set this stuff on fire. So I eventually, I have very limited spell capability on my investigator, but because I follow the divine path instead of the chaos path, I do get Cure Light Wounds, and I get another, I get 2 slots. I get a first level slot and a second level slot, or 2 first levels and a second level slot. And I chose Cure Light Wounds for my first level slots, and second level I took Hold Person. So I cast Hold Person on our own guy, because we don't want him setting fire to all this stuff. Not to mention, the smoke could kill us. Who knows? If the fire got big enough, it could kill us from smoke inhalation. Who knows? So I Hold Person on him. We search through everything. The magic user finds a bunch of treasure, and the magic user, the player who plays Niels, who plays the magic user, wrote down all of that, and I don't have that in my notes, but I remember there was like about 4,000 gold or something like that, and there was a couple of items. I believe there was a magic user scroll that he found, it was a spell book, and a few other things. I found a historical document that talks about, it's in an old worldish Woldish language that the magic user was able to read certain parts of. So I've got that. I'm not sure where that's going to lead us or whatever, but we'll take it somewhere to a library when we're in town, see if we can get it deciphered all the way. But anyway, so after all of that, then we decide to leave and go back and try the other path. There was one other path we could go. So we go the other path, and we end up in battle with a bunch of undead. And this battle leads us to, and I'm talking about, there was like ghouls, and there was probably one like white or ghast or something like that that was more powerful. And then that leads us through to another section where we're basically, we go out the door and we're on a ledge, and there's a way to go around to get across. There's a chasm, and we have to go a long ways around to get up to the ledge, and there is more undead there shooting at us, and we make our way up there, fight the undead there, and basically the entire night, for the most part, with combat, was all this undead stuff, these different encounters with undead leading us where we're going. And we end up going back down, found another path, and at some point one of the elves got impatient and decided, screw it, I'm going through. And it was a door that I guess they had previously been, something told him not to go through it or whatever, and he barged through it, and he got eviscerated. Like, he got disintegrated, like just going through it, just eviscerated, the best word for it. So that wasn't the way to go initially, and we thought about it, and at some point the magic user says, well, what about this lantern that we got up there, same time we got that tapestry, the quilt or whatever, tapestry, quilt, whatever you want to call it. And he said, well, maybe we should try that lantern, maybe it's a key or something. So he uses that, and we were able to go through into that pathway. We go into the pathway, and we end up confronting, well, he probably confronted us, not necessarily we were confronting him, but there was this something described as a droon, and he was like an omnipotent being that was speaking to us, and he gave us the name Hermanok. And he basically said, this is his dimension. We dicked around and did something that caused us to be in here, so now we're trapped unless we can pass his tests. And the big test for us to get out of here is we have to kill some type of monstrosity type creature that is in here somewhere, that we have to find and defeat it to get out of here. So that is where we're at. We have to try and find whatever this monstrosity is, whatever type of creature it is, defeat it to get out of here. Apparently that's our key to escape. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. He called himself the Watcher of the Summer Stone, and gave us the name Hermanok. So he's some type of, well, he says he's a droon, which is, I guess, some type of omnipotent nature being. So that is where we ended up. We ended up being tasked by him to try and find this creature, destroy it, to get out of here. So the majority of the night was fighting the undead. There was a lot of combat involved there. So I think that is it. So he basically confirmed that we're in a dimension of his making, or that he controls. So it's obvious we cannot get out of here of our own devices without doing what he asked to pass his test to be released. So now we have one elf instead of two. So they were both elf elf fighters, and so we're definitely down a body, and we have got to try and figure out where to go. So that's it. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything. I think that's the long and short of it. I am going live tonight at my normal time for Thursday night. So if you see this beforehand and there are any questions, go ahead and ask them in the live. So that'll be at 7 o'clock my time, which is 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight. So until then, we will catch you guys on the flip side.